Trail Seekers Adventures heads to round 2 of the SXCS Sprint Cross,
where they had a great turnout to try out the cross test and the Enduro test.
We check out the Sprint Cross to bring the experience to you.
Let's get this thing started and show you what the Sprint Cross is all about.
This race takes place in the wild and wonderful mountains of West Virginia. The Whispering Willow Farms is located in a small town called Burlington, and it is definitely a beautiful, awesome place that you can get one with nature.
That's right, Heidi. Riders came from far and near just to check it out.
The weather was beautiful and the dirt was calling our names.
Race day is on Sunday, but first, the SXCS has Saturday Fun Day, which consists of a trail ride.
When the series can fit the Fun Day ride into the weekend, it gives the riders and racers a chance to dial in their bikes. And also, if you don't plan on racing on Sunday, you can get some seat time and practice your skills. Now, Kenny likes to make these videos and follow me through the woods, but it just shows me how really slow I am.
Heidi, that's not exactly why I take videos of you.
What are you looking at?
Well, I'm watching you and watching your skill level increase every turn. Throughout this video, we're going to tell you what the Sprint Cross is all about. But first, we're talking about the Fun Day. The SXCS made a easy trail, and this is the easy trail. We started out the day just to check it out. As you can see, basically it's single track with arrows. But seriously, Heidi and I don't get together to ride the trails as often as we would like to, and it's awesome to have the opportunity on race day, or at least the day before race day, to ride and watch each other learn our skills.
After me and Kenny rode for a while, I was able to tear Nancy away from the race preparations to ride with me for a little while. But what I failed to mention is, while I was getting ready to start this day, I realized that I did not pack my riding boots. And thank goodness for Bobby Joe, she let me borrow hers for the weekend.
With the SXCS making it a weekend event, we also have opportunities to hang out with other racers and riders that we don't get a chance to hang out any other time.
So the second course that you see us going up is actually a little bit of the racetrack, but we ran it backwards. So as you can see, there's ribbon on both sides, so there's no way to really get off the track here. But they took a little bit of the section, they made you ride backwards to kind of get the feel of the course. And this side of the mountain was kind of off cambered and definitely an interesting, flowy and fast track to be on.
The SXCS does this in order to help break in the track. This was a very off-camber property running up and down and along the side of the mountains, and it was good to get a rut burned in for race day.
Today is race day. The SXCS offers a pre-registration online, which you can go to their website and get more details. You can also register the day of the race, and they will provide you with all the information that you need. And also AMA will be there to sell a day membership or a year membership if you already don't have one.
The SXCS starts out with a youth, and Usually with the Sprint Cross, they start out cross test. The cross test is basically a turn track where you work on your turn and straightaway speed. This cross test had basically two fields. One was covered with dirt and the other one was covered with grass. And you had to make sure that you knew how fast to hit each turn because every second counts. After the cross test, it's the Enduro test where you take a loop through the woods. And that's what Sprint Cross is all about. You basically do a cross test, take a break, adjust your bike, and then hit the Enduro test. You'll do that 3 times throughout the day. And whoever does it in the least amount of time wins for the day. Sprint Cross is excellent for the beginner because if you don't have the endurance, you can take a break and then hit the trail again. The courses are shorter and usually not as technical.
And there's my buddy Nancy, who wears many hats during the weekend. She also is the founder of Dirt Bike Girl Adventures and started a podcast, What's Under the Helmet, that is found on Spotify. It features women who ride dirt bikes and have very unique stories to tell.
As the youth wraps up their race day, it's time for the adult race, and they also start on the cross test. With the country being on lockdown, and now we're finally out able to ride, riders came from all parts of the country in order to check out the SXCS Sprint Cross. The SXCS has brought the Sprint Cross to West Virginia, and for many of us, it will be the first time for us to try out the Sprint Cross. So we all are at the riders meeting, checking out and listening to Billy tell us about what Sprint Cross is all about. As you can see, we start on the cross test. It was a very dusty day, but it wasn't all that bad. The idea on the cross test is to go as fast as possible without making mistakes, because every mistake you make, you will definitely see it in the results. And from first to fifth could be a matter of seconds. On this cross test, it consists of 2 fields. One, which was his first one, was mostly dirt, and the other one was grass, with a little wood section in between. Alright, it's my turn. I'm running the 40A class. And as you can see, I was running a little behind. I was out doing video and didn't think our line would line up as quick as it did, and I barely got here in time. So with the Sprint Cross, you don't race each other, you're racing the clock. Every 10 seconds, a rider goes out and hits the track. Alright, let's go check out one loop on the cross test. I definitely struggle knowing how fast to come into these turns. I usually always blow the curb or the turn, overshoot, get over in the soft stuff. I definitely struggle with the cross test. Depends on the property, but as you can tell, the course is marked on both sides with ribbon around the entire loop. This is to help you mark the track, and that way everybody has the same track. And you know when you have a good layout because the ribbon doesn't get blowed out by those catch you off guard turns. Trail Seeker Adventure crew always likes to catch up with other riders to see what they think about the race that we are currently racing. We catch up with Jake Ross to see what he thinks about the event. Alright, so what's your name?
Jake Ross.
So we're here at the SXCS. Is this your first trip at the SXCS?
Jenny.
We're having an interview, Jenny.
No, I've been running the SXCS since Billy started picking up the Hangover Hare Scramble a couple years ago before it was even a series. So as soon as I knew Billy was running a full series, I immediately wanted to jump on board, and I've helped him with a little bit of track setup, and I've helped with just setup on the trailer, cleanup, and it's just been a great experience overall. And the series is awesome so far.
So we're at a Sprint Cross. Have you done very many of the Sprint Cross?
Yeah, I ran a couple almost full seasons of the full gas enduros, and I ran all of Billy's sprint cross races. I did both the Boyer Farm ones and the VMP one last year.
So I think Billy's idea is to bring some of the motocross world over here. You think this is a good beginning for the motocross to come into the woods?
For sure, the Sprint Cross format, it kind of allows a little bit of separation because the cross track, in the cross section, the grass track, it's a little bit less differentiating when it comes to the times. You end up really close with times, whereas the enduro test, you're going to end up your separation might be 15-20 seconds. So yeah, it's a good segue, and I try to get all my friends out here and try to get all my motocross buddies. So I really think if we could get some more to transition, it'd be great.
So yesterday they had a trail ride. Did you get to go out and check the trails out?
Yeah, I went one lap around the cross test. It was good. The corners were really nice. You could swing the outsides pretty well. The enduro test is a lot of fun. Lots of line selection, off camber tricky. It's going to be a good one today. A little dry, but I think that's what do you expect in the beginning of June. So yeah.
Awesome. So what class you running today?
I'm going to be running AA.
Awesome. Well, you have a good luck and be safe out there.
Yeah, thanks, Kenny.
All right.
Take care, man.
Well, that's one lap on the cross test. Wasn't my best test of the day. I blew out a bunch of turns, but that's what it's all about. You go back to the pits, do your enduro test, then come back and try it again. The SXCS typically has a radio station that you can listen to know when to line up, but they also have live scoring, and also they have scoring up at the trailer so you know how your lap went and how your competition is doing.
Oh crap.
The one thing about the Sprint Cross, I have time to go check out Heidi to see how she's doing.
Yes, Heidi!
Heidi has a close group of friends that race together,
Nice!
and they all root each other on.
How you doing?
Woo! Good.
You like the cross test?
Yes, it was fun. I'm ready to roll in the woods.
How about you? What's your name? How'd you like cross test?
It's fine. You go faster.
Don't we all?
Alrighty, it's time for my favorite, the Enduro test. Every 10 seconds, a new rider goes out to do the best that they can and make the least amount of mistakes.
Get up here. Okay. Just stay right there. Beside him. Okay.
You too, bud.
Clutch lock. Okay, Paul.
So as we go under the transponder, it's time to hit the gas. Billy will check the woods or the property over to find all unique parts of the property, and this is one of them. You don't see that too often. Property, you're either going up a hill, down a hill, or across the hill. But that was what made this property so unique. And the dirt was awesome. As you can see, the same as the cross test, the entire loop was ribbon on both sides. That way everybody had the exact course to race. That way the time was what it was all about. But also, Billy's good about putting in different lines here and there, because as you know, every second counts. This is what Trail Seeker Adventures is all about. This is a sprint cross. Not everybody has ever seen or heard about a sprint cross. And we bring you to the track so you can check it out. And hopefully if you see something you like, you can find a trail, whether it be a race event or a ride park, and go check it out on your own. If this is something you're interested in, make sure you like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell. That way every time we hit a new event or ride park, you'll be first to know. And maybe you might find a trail that's meant for you. This was one of my favorite features of the Enduro loop. It always makes me excited when you start catching somebody's dust. That means you're catching them and hopefully going to pass them. This is another unique feature that Billy threw in for us, the road jump. If the SXCS Sprint Cross is something you're interested in, make sure you check out their website. They have a site under the SXCS and also Trail Pros to find out when their next Sprint Cross is, and that way you won't miss it. But it's definitely something to come out and check. You've seen what it's all about. The Trail Seeker Adventures came and checked it out and had an awesome time. SXCS always puts on a great event. If you can't make it for the trail ride or whatever the spatial event is on Saturday, make sure you show up on Sunday and be ready for an awesome time. The last half of this loop on the way back was definitely off camber, and it was easy to wash your front end out and lose a bunch of time. If you're not doing nothing on the 4th of July, make sure you check out the SXCS schedule. They have a spatial event, Western Maryland, at their property. It's going to be a all weekend event, 3-day event. On Friday night, they're going to have a 8 or 9 hour race. It starts, I believe, at 6 and ends at 2 in the morning. That will require some headlights. But then on Saturday, they'll have a ride day, a trail ride day, and then their GP is on Sunday. Make sure you check out their website for details. As I'm wrapping up the Enduro test, that was Billy putting up some ribbon. It's time to go back and see where I went wrong, do some adjustments, and start it all over again. Well, I get to come over and watch Heidi and the ladies take off on the Enduro test.
Go! Good job, sweetie!
Heidi had some close battles throughout the weekend, but she made herself up to second, but had a couple mess ups and was able to hold off and finish the day in third. With the SXCS, if you're in the A class, you get an extra run at the course, both the cross test and the Enduro test. This is my last run. I'm going to try to do what I can. I was suffering and losing some time on the cross test, so I'm going to try to do as good as I can to eliminate as many mistakes as I can. That's one of those mistakes you try to avoid. Every second counts. As I finish up my last cross test, we go back and get ready for the last Enduro test.
Good luck, buddy.
As you can see, late in the day, it's getting dustier and the sun is definitely not helping. One cool thing about Sprint Cross, you're able to hang out with your competition and become good friends.
Yeah. Got a nice freshy tire.
Oh yeah, it's the first time I ran the 53 and I'm really liking it.
That's great. I think, yeah, I like the deal, man. I got factory DLCs on.
Oh yeah, how you like that bike?
I like the bike a lot.
The 300?
The 300 Beta, their new one, the race, and it's well short-footed.
Yeah, yesterday?
I showed up and did an easy loop. I got here late and that was it.
Oh yeah, sweet.
What's fun? I like it. I'm just glad to be back on my dirt bike.
Oh yeah, has it been a while?
Yeah, it was shut down and all that gone.
Oh, that crap. Good luck out there.
It was a matter of seconds all day. We were back and forth, but I was able to manage to pull off the win for the weekend. I had an awesome time. Well, that about does it for this video. We checked out the SXCS Sprint Cross. I hope it's something that you're interested in doing. The Trail Seeker Adventure crew comes out and check out each of these events to help you find a race event or a trail ride area for you. Make sure you like our videos, subscribe to our channel, hit that bell signal, and that way when we put out a new race event or ride park, you'll be first to know. Thanks for watching. I think that's a wrap.